Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got my man with the plan, my man Scott C. What's happening, baby?
Hey man, it's the best part of the year, man. It's NFL draft time, and so a lot of dreams come true. You've been
Absolutely,
there, I've been there, where we're hoping and wishing.
absolutely.
It's an exciting time, I tell you. It's
Yes,
except these kids now they're going into the NFL rich.
they going into the NFL, Rich
we
man, with these
we
NIL deals and these bonkers compensation that they get. But I applaud them. My hats off to
oh
them, man. NCAA made the game. They just playing it. You know
Hey
what I'm
man,
saying? So
like they say, like they
hey.
say, hey, like I heard someone say, man, I don't make the news, I just report
I just report it, man.
it.
I don't make the news.
Hey,
I just report it, man. So for anybody who's joining us tonight, for anyone who's joining us tonight, this is a 2025 NFL short draft special edition for Dreams podcast. And as Scott said, Dreams podcast stands for discipline, respect, education, accountability, match raising, success. The craziest thing about it is it's more so of, like he said, dreams are about to come true for a lot of young men and their families and their friends and the people who they hold near and dear. So man, Scott, is like you said, it's been a long time.
hmm
Some of these guys to get the recognition. Some have more recognition than others. We know what's been the buzz of
yeah,
this week, of who's going where. No
hmm
one really knows. It's really about
no.
how the draft picks goes and
hmm
up for grabs. So give me your insight on that, Doc.
I think first of all, we want to send a shout out to everyone who's been supporting Dreams podcast, Locker Room to Reality. It means the world to Jackie and myself, and we just want to say thank you. And just to set the record straight, we're not a sports show, but because we've both played at the highest level, we thought, hey man, it'll be cool if we get on here and kind of give some insight about our thoughts of the draft. Well, I mean, let's get right into it. I mean, I think I've never seen a draft, as far as I can remember, where there was just so much uncertainty. I've never seen anything like this, where I think coming out of the college season, everyone was talking about Shador Sanders is the best quarterback, and projected him to go number one overall. And then all of a sudden, that has changed for whatever reason. Um, he is no longer projected to go number one. Uh, and so, I mean, you have him going, you know, some people have him going number three to the Giants. We've seen number nine to the New Orleans Saints. We've seen 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And heck, I've even seen number 30. I think the first pick of the second draft. I'm sorry, the second round.
Yep.
Uh, him going. I was like, what? So me personally, we'll get into that where we think he may go. But
Hmm.
let's start off. We'll just kind of go through some of the top picks and kind of give our thoughts. I think number one. I mean, uh, in my opinion, Shador Sanders is rated number one on my for me as far as the if I had a chance to take him or any other quarterback in this draft, I'm taking him. I just seen him do too many special things throughout his collegiate career. What he did at Jackson State as a true freshman and as a sophomore, and then taking his talents to a Power Five to University of Colorado
Absolutely.
up in Boulder, where there was absolutely nothing. The year before they got there, they were 111. The average margin of defeat was 30 points, man. And so for him to spearhead that turnaround and take a beating, and he didn't take a beating like they give him in the in 2024. He took a beating how we got it in
He
the
took a beat.
80s.
Right. That's what
Yeah,
he said, bro. He
yeah.
took a beating, man.
He
And
took
I
he,
think,
he yeah.
to your point, no other quarterback did that.
No.
Number wise, as far as having improved, that level of competition that he had to go up to, or they felt that he wasn't ready. So
hmm
I agree with you. He would
hmm
be. He would be my quarterback, just from what I've seen, just from you're talking about going in as a true freshman in Jackson State.
Yep.
Won every award.
Yeah.
New player, newcomer, won every award.
Yeah.
Next year, same thing.
Yeah.
Transfers, same thing. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm like you. I take nothing away from the young man Cam Ward. I think both of them will be outstanding picks, but Shedeur would be my pick just due to what he's had to face, due to the scrutinies he's had to face, the plays he's had to place. He never had an O-line,
No.
you know, and they won, man. You
They
talking
did.
about they hadn't won what 10 games in how many years in total?
Yeah.
In 5 years.
Yeah.
And he went 9, and you know, so I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. So if he's not one, he should be in the top 3 or top 5, me personally. But yeah.
And then what's crazy before we move on from this is just how, you know, people right now, they're looking for every reason, you know, to knock him down. And then they start talking about his arm strength. And I'm like, I've seen this guy throw 40-yard strikes on the rope like that. It was what was that? They were playing what was it, Baylor, when they sent in overtime, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, Baylor,
when he rolled to his left and threw that thing on a rope.
Yeah,
like 50 yards on a rope. And I'm like, so and you start talking about arm strength, and I think it's one of those things too, is you get some guys who they play better in shorts. He plays better in pads. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, and so if you're looking for a guy, and that's the biggest problem, because we've both experienced this with, you know, professional football. Let's talk about the NFL. Is people get too excited over a guy performing in shorts, in a t-shirt.
That's it. You got guys getting full scholarships in shorts and t-shirts, you know, and I take nothing away from their ability, but it's just a different pace. It's a different aggression. It's a different mindset, because you can't get hit out there in shorts and shorts.
No. Yeah.
You t-shirts and shorts, you know about it. But when you go across that middle, you got to worry about them other 10 guys putting that hat on you. When that quarterback in that pocket, you got to worry about them barreling down, getting in those passing lane, getting their hands up, beating their man. It's so many variables, you know, that has changed the game in the recruiting concept for me. So I agree with you on that, brother. I really, really do.
Yeah. No, man, it's you know, it's going to be exciting though. It's like I said, I'm excited to see what's going to transpire, and yeah, see what, like I said, man, see what happens. I mean, well, let's get into it. You know, the Tennessee Titans are picking at number 1.
Yes.
I don't foresee any type of trade, because you would have to give up a king's ransom to get that number 1 pick, and I don't foresee anyone doing that.
Correct.
There's just not that type of player. And here's the thing, that player may be in this draft, but we don't know, right?
No.
And so as far as what everyone's projecting, there's not that type of player, you know, coming out in this year's draft. So if the consensus, no matter what we think or what, you know, different people think, is Cam Ward from University of Miami going number 1. I mean, I think when you talk about Cam Ward, very, very similar to Shedeur, when you talk about having that it factor, rocket arm, can throw it from all angles.
Yes.
Mobile, you know, kind of like a dual threat quarterback, so to speak. I mean, if you had to compare him to anyone, I would say probably Patrick Mahomes, just the way he can throw it from different angles. I mean, and not to get off topic, it's funny how all these draft analysts, I mean, everybody, they get paid a lot of money. The you know, player personnel scouts and the GMs and things of that nature. And what I think people forget, like, you know, Mitchell Trubisky went before Patrick Mahomes. They traded up.
You traded up
to go get him.
Yeah.
People forget that.
But
everybody knows. But you know what I'm saying? People, Patrick Mahomes was sitting there. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, you think about it. I mean, Lamar Jackson
with 32.
He's the last one.
He's the last one.
I
forgot about that.
He's sleeping on the table with his mom. You know, nobody. Oh, whoa. This. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah, they ain't saying it now.
Same thing
Yeah.
make you laugh, make you cry, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's
Yeah. Yep.
I understand, man, but you know, you get into like you said, the Cam Ward. You know, he's from Texas. You know, he's had a great, 158 touchdowns in the collegiate D1, NCAA record. Like you said, he can make all the throws, and I don't have a dog in the race, but
Mhm.
they say he's faster than Shador.
He
They
is.
say, he's I don't know if he's more accurate than Shador. But like you said, he can make all the throws, strong arm, get it down the field,
Mhm.
extends plays with his legs.
Mhm.
Um, I can only assume
Mhm.
cerebral being in the
Mhm.
quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? But having playing at Miami, that's a big task.
Mhm.
That's a big task. And for him to do what he did at Miami, playing against the talent that he played against at Miami, I understand why a team will be like, oh, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
Uh, I do understand that. The tangibles are there. I just feel because he went to Washington State, then he
Mhm.
went to another school, played well,
Mhm.
transferred to Miami. So it's kind of the same story. No,
Mhm.
it's the
Yep.
same process, different story,
Different
different
story.
journey.
Very similar.
Right,
Yep.
right. Very
Mhm.
similar process as far as changing schools, going up
Mhm.
to a top tier talent, and
Mhm.
he proved himself.
Mhm.
So wherever he goes, I just wish him the best.
Mhm. Mhm.
But my quarterback, I think I would start my organization with Shador. That's just me
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. 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 He gonna sell tickets too.
He gonna sell tickets.
Cause here's again, because people at the end of the day,
They want to see him fail.
you
They
took the
want to
words out of
see
my
him
mouth.
fail.
Why did
That's what I'm saying.
why did Floyd Mayweather make so much money
They
boxing?
want to see him lose.
They want to see him lose.
Everybody went to the fight to see. He gonna be what? 39-1. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna be there to see it.
I'm gonna
It
see.
never happened. It never happened. And
Yep.
you're absolutely right. The same thing that builds you up are the same people
Mhm.
trying to pull the rug from
Mhm.
under your feet,
Yep.
man. So,
Yep.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that, and then you move on to the next one, man. This is gonna be a toss up. I mean, because Cleveland they're picking at number 2.
Hmm.
I think I don't.
They
I
have a
can't.
hard decision to make.
That's tough because
They
it's
got
like
a hard.
okay, because it's. But see, here's the thing. The reason why I'm leaning towards Travis Hunter at that number 2 spot is because they have a need at receiver because all they have is Jerry Judy. So they have a need at receiver, and they have a need. They need another corner. Because in this league, this day and age, you got to have 3 to 4. You can't just have, 1 or 2 because, you got guys moving around. Let's say you go play Detroit. Because it's here again, people, you'll have some guys follow and travel with the number one receiver, but you can't do it the whole game, period, because guys are scheming the way these offensive coordinators are scheming now versus back in the day. Because back in the day, guys were just it was three
Left and
wides.
right.
It
Left
was
and right.
just so yeah, you can try, but now, man, you got they're stacking them. They're coming up in bunches. Like if you're trying to cover me and it's just you and I the whole game, and I'm stacked behind the guy. I mean, that's unfair. That's tough. That's tough, right? So you don't want to put your DB in that position. So you got to have other DBs that can handle the task as well. And so I think it fills both those voids. I mean, I would play him at receiver. So I would start him at receiver and play him as the nickel and dime and see how it goes. I think he can do it. A lot of people. Here's the thing, and you can relate when people this. Everyone are so quick to say what someone can't do because they never
They
did
didn't
it
do it.
or they can't do it.
They can't do it. They can't
Just
do
like
it.
what he did in college, people are like, "Oh my God, this kid ain't coming off the field." Like he literally did not come off the field.
So what's crazy, man, is like I don't know if you remember this, but when I first got to Southern, I was supposed to play both ways.
Yeah, I remember.
Because and I went to Coach Rich and I went to Coach Bite. I said, hey man, look, if I'm trying to make it to the next level, what should I play?
Mm-hmm,
Coach Rich said, man, play defensive back. And that's when I
mm-hmm,
went to the defensive side of the ball. So I understand Travis Hunter's ability, you know
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? But do as a general manager, owner of a team, do you put that onus
No.
on your franchise player.
No.
So that's
No.
the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to find, and I'm pretty sure they'll gauge it. You
Yeah.
know, they're gonna have to find ways to get him in. You
Mhm.
know, and if he can be that, stopper
Mhm.
defensive, then that's
Yeah.
where you put him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do feel he's an anomaly,
Mhm.
for the receiver position because of his speed, able to stretch the field, no
Mhm.
different than anybody else. But he
Mhm.
has great hand-eye coordination. He tracks
Yeah.
the ball well,
Yeah.
and he can run.
Yeah. He can run.
He can run.
Yeah. I saw an analyst talking about that he has good short area quickness, but I wouldn't line him up number one on a top rated receiver because he's not that fast. I was like, are you? I mean, some of these people some of them kill me, man. I'm like, have you seen this kid run? He can flat
He
out
can
run.
run.
He can
He
run,
can
man.
run. He can
Yeah.
run.
And yeah.
That his speed doesn't have to correlate to 4.1, 4.2, but he
He's a
has
4.
football
Yeah,
speed.
he's a 4.
4.4
He's a 4-4 guy.
He's a
But his
4.4
speed,
guy.
but you know what? His
He
speed
got
is right
football
now.
speed.
When he catch that thing, it's
Turns
right.
up.
It's right now.
Right.
It's
Turns up.
like he hit.
I agree.
He in fifth gear before you know it. So I mean, yeah. I mean, I think so. I think that's what we're going to see most likely. And then you got Abdul Carter, 12 sacks, highly productive guy. I mean, I recall watching him in the Notre Dame game, in the playoff game,
Right.
and I was like,
He's an animal.
Oh,
He's an animal.
he
So
is an
this
animal.
is my thing. Do you put him besides Myles Garrett? Because he's
That's
going to
tough.
come opposite side.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett just signed a huge, contract,
Yeah.
extension.
Mhm.
Like, so my thing is, do you have a quarterback in Cleveland right now?
No, not. I mean, no. I mean,
You're saying putting Travis Hunter. I'm being the devil's advocate. You're saying put him
yeah.
there. We're gonna throw him the ball.
They're going. Here's the thing. I think they're going to have to take a quarterback. I just think, or they just brought Flacco back.
Yeah, he got him a
and
year.
usually gave him a year.
Yeah.
So they could go that route, or and take a guy in the second, or they could trade back in the first, because they got quite a few picks actually. This is the first year they picking in the first round because of that.
Yeah, the Deshaun Watson thing.
The worst trade in history.
No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna dog the brother. I'm gonna tell
No,
you.
I ain't gonna dog him. I'm just speaking facts
about it. No, it's not the facts, Scott, because prior to Deshaun Watson leaving the Texans, he was one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL.
You're right. Yeah,
am I right?
You're right.
So, I'm like, he was
like, yeah, he was cold. He like Mike Vick out there. I was like,
right, like
yeah.
I like everybody got whatever they got going through. I'm not here to judge, I'm not here to pass no judgment, but no one can speak about his talent, and he did that with no line.
Mm-hmm.
He did it with no O-line in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He goes to Cleveland, whatever they say he did, whatever. I'm not here. I wasn't there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't tell me he's still not a good quarterback. Because think about this. Just think about this. I'm going to say you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use you. I don't like hypotheticals, but I'm going to use you.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up tomorrow
mm-hmm.
and you can't go play what you love. You wake up tomorrow and you can no longer be who you want to be. You wake up tomorrow and everything that you've worked for is now being under a microscope, right? That's my first thing. Now you're in a place where they've had no success for years. They bring you in as a savior. They stamp him with what he does off the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you bounce back from that? Think about that. You're talking about a guy who was drafted here.
Yeah.
Who for them 4 years in Texans, just, damn near single-handedly took him to playoffs by himself. So you can't tell me he's not a good quarterback, but I personally feel, we talking about mental health right now. Just think about how that played on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 2 cents, but I'll let you.
No. I get it. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna harp on Deshaun Watson,
Right?
but
I ain't gonna
but
kill him, man. That
but
done
he
killed
ain't
him
gonna kill it.
already.
Yeah,
That done killed him already.
I done took him out back.
Killed him.
but
Took
but
that
yeah,
bullet and killed him, man.
but it's just I hear again. They thought they were getting, a top-notch quarterback, which we
And
all
they
did,
were.
and they
And they
were.
were.
But whatever. I don't know what it is.
A year out of
Yeah,
football
that'll kill
as a
you.
quarterback.
Yeah, that hurt.
Timing, conditioning, everything, seeing things, how they move. Man, that's a lot of adjusting, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a lot of, and for people looking at this, they can say, oh man, hey man, listen, if you ain't never been out there and them 2 to 3 seconds, them plays going on, you'll never understand it because it's happening in milliseconds, Scott. You know that.
Yeah.
The
No,
quarterback gotta have the ball out of his hand in less than 3 seconds.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Guys are running 20, 30, 40 yards in less than 3 seconds. Think about that. All this blocking, all this moving, all
different
these
schemes.
schemes. Yeah, like that's a lot, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's my 2
Yeah.
cents. But
No.
for Abdul Carter, I agree with you. I just don't know if that would be the right pick. He's a great talent. I don't know if Cleveland would be the best place for him because he's going to be on the other side of Myles Garrett. Defensively, I thought Cleveland played well last year.
They did.
They won some close games. I think they lost a total of 5 games by about 9 points.
Yeah.
So they got a defense.
Yeah.
Can you score?
Yeah. Yeah. They got to get a. Yeah. They have a lot. They have a lot of pieces to bring in and host the field. I think it's just Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter. Just neither one of them, or you can't pass on that type of talent.
Can't.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, you ask yourself this question when you put yourself at the number 3 spot with the Giants. Abdul Carter's projected to go there, but how I look at it is like this. I'm going to use the Cleveland Browns as an example, and they got the highest paid pass rusher, probably the best in the league. He's an animal.
Yeah.
Right? Myles Garrett.
Yep.
They haven't won a playoff game. What have they done? They're constantly losing. So my point is, if it's me, I need to get a quarterback in there. But if you don't believe that Shedeur, Jackson Dart, one of these guys, you're just not absolutely in love with him. Like last year, you had Caleb Williams, and everybody was just in love with him, right? Jaden Daniels, you see what I'm saying? If you believe in that guy, then you go get him. But if you don't, then you can't pass on Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. But Abdul Hunter is projected to go.
Carter.
Huh? I'm sorry. I know. I'm going backwards because Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter to the Browns at number 2. Abdul Carter to New York Giants at number 3 is kind of what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like.
You have that. You have other names in Will Campbell, other names in Rashawn Jeanty, other name in what's the tight end from I think his last name was Morgan. What's that?
From
the tight end, I think he's from Michigan, either Michigan or Ohio State.
Oh, it's a tight end from Michigan, Colston Loveland from Michigan that they talking about.
You have him. You have, like I said. So if I'm being honest, if you haven't been watching and keeping up with the draft, it's only been about 7 to 10 names that they've been saying. After that, you got the running back, Scatterbo, who ran. He didn't run so fabulous in his pro day, but they say, he's an opportunity. He'll get an opportunity.
He's a beast.
Yeah, so it's like you got quarterback from Alabama.
Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe. So it's like
I think he'll go probably second round.
Yeah, but they say he's a mixture of Cam Newton and Lamar Jackson.
He built like a
he big.
And he ran what did he run, like 4.37 or something?
Yeah.
Like, you got the kid Mikael Williams, outside linebacker from Georgia, ran 4.4.
Yeah, he's an animal.
He's an animal, right? Georgia
Yeah.
just keep kicking those
Yeah.
those D linemen out.
I mean, Will Anderson, all those guys at the Texans, I
Yeah.
mean, they're proven with
Mhm.
that 3-4 that they're running, they get those athletic edge players, man, guys who can cover in space.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. If you're Raiders and you're Raiders and you're picking at 6, you just paid Geno.
I'm
Geno's
getting Shador Sanders, man. The reason I'm getting Shador Sanders is because of the relationship he has with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Like, I mean, when he came back, I was watching his mechanics, and I was like, man, he looked like old Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Just and you can see it holding the ball, delivery, poise. Like, I'm sorry, that's TB12, man.
Yeah.
And but what's crazy, like you said, they just paid Geno a whole lot of money, so they ain't paying him to sit.
That's what I'm saying. He did a 3-year deal. I think he's making about 35 million a year.
Yep, 35 to 36 million.
Yeah, yeah, right. So I'm saying if Shador is there, it's like, do you take Shador or do you take Ashton Genty? Or some people's projecting him to take the offensive tackle from Missouri as well. So yeah, I think Armin Mamimbo.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Mamimbo, something like that. But
Mamimbo.
yeah. So
you have to. So it's twofold. If you got Geno, you got to protect him.
Yeah.
So do you get his interior? You get his tackles. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, I don't know what other weapons that they have. They you lost your running back, you lost your tight end.
Well, they just drafted tight end last year in the
No,
first
I'm
round.
talking about the one who went. They let go though. You remember the one?
Waller.
Waller.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he was pretty good talent.
But yeah, he was very talented. But the other guy who they drafted from Georgia last year.
Yeah. He's one of the better ones in the league. Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
one of the better ones in the league. But thing about it, Scott, is it's almost like Antonio Pearson didn't have no help.
No, he got railroaded.
So he got railroaded. The talents over there is minimal. Everybody, defensively, you got Crosby, you got the corner that they, plan, have plans for, but there no names jump out other than Crosby.
No.
Other than Geno Smith. You know what I'm saying? Now that you have those players, it's like, what do you do?
I mean,
so like you said, with once again, you can get an Abdul Carter, put him on the other side of Crosby.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone though. He'll be gone by then.
What I'm saying. By 6, he's gone.
But see, here's another thing. At number 9, what is the Saints are picking? If Shador is there, I think you got to take him because you got David Carr. Pretty much, they just
he's banged up now.
They're saying he may not even
play this year, man.
He's sitting around making $40 million. To do nothing.
Look what he's doing. If anybody know what this is, that's milking. He milking that. Hey, Doc, he milking them, Scott. He milking them, baby. He milking them. Listen, Dave Carter got that money. He know they ain't brought nobody to protect him. He said, man, I'm gonna milk this one, baby. I'm gonna milk it. I mean, I don't blame him. I'm not saying it's right, but now you still have one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL.
They got a receiving core too.
I was about to say receiving core. Now, defense played well last year.
Yeah, they got a D.
If I'm being honest,
you push it. That's where I want him to go.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
in that dome, if he goes to New Orleans in that dome,
yes. No, nothing. I mean,
look out.
Hey, like I said, get your popcorn ready, baby. That's all I can say. Season tickets done shot through the roof.
Going to the Big Easy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He gonna be down in the Big Easy, man, like this.
Yep.
So I think that would be a great pick for them. I just, like you said, for the first 10 teams, Scott, I other than the Saints, of course, Cleveland can say they can draft him because they need a quarterback. Tennessee can draft him because they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Any team can draft him because he's draftable.
He's draftable. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's just that who needs to the teams that it makes sense for
Right.
is the Giants, which at that point you're choosing between what they're saying generational talents may be between, Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter, which they are. I knew Travis Hunter is generational talent for sure. Abdul Carter, he's an animal. But I think, Travis Hunter is doing something we've never seen before. I mean, I think those you have 3, and you have the Raiders at 6, and then you have the Saints at 9, Pittsburgh at 21.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best fit for him, in my opinion, the best fit for him, and he gets to get coached by Kellen Moore, who's a good quarterback coach.
Mm-hmm.
So I like New Orleans for him, me personally.
So when you saying the Giants, now he goes to the Giants, do you play him at receiver or do you play him in corner?
No. Oh, you talking about
if Travis Hunter,
if he goes to the Giants,
he goes that low, but if he goes to the Giants, you got Malik Neighbors, receiver. You have some good corners, decent corners over there. So what are you playing?
Yeah. I think it's a similar situation. It's the same situation that I would do in if he went to Cleveland. I think I start him at receiver on the other side of Malik Neighbors. Now I got 2 dogs, and then I package them. I put some packages together for defense. Like, we'll have the Travis Hunter package, and he out there.
THP,
baby. So that's what. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at some people are projecting the New York Giants to trade back in the first and grab Jackson Dart too. There's talks of that.
The quarterback.
Yeah, right. So it's here again, very, very unpredictable draft. I've never seen this much uncertainty. We've seen, things of that nature, but yeah, man, as we kind of wrap it up and let's talk about, there's a lot of uncertainty. So what was your experience like when you were coming out? I mean, you were All-American, all sorts of accolades. You were a man around town. You know what I mean? Hey, Jackie Mitchell. Hey, what they call it? The man, all the women hated. I'm sorry, all the women wanted it. All the men, they loved you, but they hated you too because it was like, no, Mr. Steal Your Girl.
No, man, I think Scott, man, the experience. And like you said, man, thank you for that. I thought I was gonna be drafted. I'm not being honest. Coming out of Southern, I didn't make the news. I just reported it, like you said. No. That Sporting News magazine said I was number 9 in the country. In the country, not in the SWAC, in the country. Yeah. I only thing that I can say, you can never prepare for it. You can't. You just continue to practice and work on your craft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all you can do, because at the end of the day, I heard one of the actors, the new Captain America, what's that gentleman name? Anthony Mackie. He said
he's from New Orleans. He's from New Orleans.
Right, he's from New Orleans, right? He said respect is not earned, it's given. It's given. The opportunities are given. And when you walk, that's why I hope these young players understand the totality of the process. It's still a business. You understand? So you got to walk in there a certain way. You got to do the tap dance. You got to do all of the things. You got to say the right things. You got to look a certain way. You got to look them in the eye. You got to shake their hand. You got to be assertive in what you're saying. You got to be sure of what you're doing. And I'm just hoping when they're getting those opportunities, because the talent speaks for itself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They just got to make sure, who am I investing in? And that was the biggest thing for me when a team, I went to Miami, free agency, but
they called you right after the draft.
I thought I was gonna get drafted. The Cowboys called me the first day.
Yeah,
like literally woke me up out of my sleep. I was like, oh man, I'm about to get drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they
So,
say?
hey, stay by your phone.
How they
I,
gonna do that?
bro, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
True story.
dang! Stay by your
Me,
phone.
as a matter of fact, I went home, Chris White,
Mhm.
my
Yep.
college roommate. I go home with Chris. We in Shreveport, Stonewall where he's from. His mom brings the phone. I'm waking up like, huh? She was like, Jerome, Jackie, somebody on the phone. I'm like, oh, okay, who is it? It's like, man, it's Dallas Cowboys, man, like what you're doing, stay by the phone. I'm like, oh man, it's happening. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Longest day of my life.
Yeah. Crazy.
Longest day. I never got a call again. I
Yeah.
got a call from the Cowboys. I got a call from Green Bay. And then the second day, phone ringing a little bit more. I get a call, and I should have taken that offer. I should have went to
Mm.
Detroit Lions. I
Mm.
should have went to Detroit Lions because at that time I did have an agent, but
Mhm.
that wasn't the best place for me. Miami wasn't the best place for me. I was the
Mm.
only rookie DB they brought in. Now you're talking about now look who they had in the secondary. They had Sam Madison,
Mhm.
Pat Surtain,
Yep.
Terrell Buckley,
Yep.
Troy Vincent,
Damn.
Jerry Wilson, Brian
Brock,
Washington,
Brock Marion.
Brock Marion. Where
Yep.
was I going to play as a true
Yeah.
rookie?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Brock, they just gave Brock Marion, I think, like 11 to 13 million.
Mhm.
Patrick Surtain and Sam
Yeah.
Madison was
Madison.
coming up on new contracts. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Terrell Buckley. I mean, come on, T Buck he
Yeah.
should be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I played well,
Yeah.
but can't stay here.
No. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying?
No. For
So
sure.
it's just my process was a good process. It was an eye-opening process because I'd never been cut before. So
Mm.
being cut from Miami Dolphins, I'm like, what do
Yeah.
you do now?
Yeah.
So I went back to finish school,
Mm-hmm.
and I had another year of eligibility to play basketball. So that's what I did. The
Mm.
the process and the progress of it can wear on you if you're not
Oh,
if
100%.
you're not strong because I
Mm.
was gonna get a job.
Mm.
I was going to get a job. I'll never forget. Former teammate Tommy Walker. Remember Tommy Walker?
Yeah. Yeah. Kappa.
He was working at Chrysler Financial. I'll never forget it. I called him. He was like, "Man, I can get you an interview." So I go to the interview. I fly to Atlanta, go to the interview. While I'm in the interview, the Raiders called me,
Mm.
and I step out. I tell the man in the interview, "Hey, I gotta take this call." They was like, "Man, we gonna fly you out." I go back in the interview. I said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't accept the job."
Yeah. Yeah.
After the interview,
Mm-hmm.
I'm headed to the airport. The Raiders call me back and say, we've changed our mind. So I called that's a true story. They was like, we're gonna sign a vet and then we're gonna bring somebody in from the Arena League at that time.
Dang.
No, it wasn't, it was NFL Europe. And we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
bring a vet in. I was like, what? I called the guy back about the job. He said, we can't offer you that. He's like, man, just go ahead and pursue
Yeah.
your
Do what you
dream.
do.
So
What you do.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
do what
Yeah.
you do. So to answer it in a nutshell, it was a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that I was physically and mentally ready, but
Mm-hmm.
I was not mentally ready for the cut. I
Oh yeah.
wasn't mentally ready for the real side of that business because I had
Mm-hmm.
never been on that side of
It's
the
tough.
business.
Yeah.
It's tough,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's not about how good you are.
No.
It comes down to numbers. It comes down to who's paying, who's about to get paid, where do they see this fit, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
just what it is. That's the business side of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I would like to turn that question around for you.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't know is, and I'll let you tell it, you didn't play a lot of football. You
Mm-mm.
know what I'm saying? A collegiate football,
Yeah. No.
So I'll let you tell that story. And you tell me about your experience. You know what I'm saying?
Um.
So it's all
Yeah.
about
No,
it.
man. I played high school and quarter. I'm sorry. I played quarterback in high school, and
Mm,
so in college when I, you know, became eligible to play, um, I decided to play wide receiver, and um, and I think I was a late bloomer as well. But I come out. I have two more. I have 2 years to play, and so my junior year, um, I think I think we probably brought in probably like 5 receivers. Yeah,
mm.
John George, uh,
Jermaine Brown, that is
Brown, that is
Pennell.
Kawasi.
Yep.
Who else they brought in? Well, Javon was already
Terrence
there.
Blackwell.
Blackwell transferred from Oregon State.
Yeah, from
So
Oregon
it was
State.
like, and they were high on all these guys, and so I didn't really get an opportunity, right? Because you really get your opportunity to just kind of show what you can do in the spring. I think in the fall, they kind of got their mind made up on what they really want to do. And so anyway, I didn't really, I played a few snaps here and there, didn't really play,
I have to interject on something though, Scott, because we worked our ass off that summer.
We did.
I'm gonna say that.
We did. Oh, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We worked. No, we did. We worked. Yeah, we did, man. And it showed in the conditioning test. I did well in some practices, and but I think at the end of the season, Coach Richardson told me he wanted me to get faster. And so I started working out with the track team. We started training with Newt.
Yeah,
Coach Newt was a blessing for us.
Absolutely.
And I remember, man, how like I was like, man, I should have been running track because when my speed increased and just really learning how to run, it changed everything. And that's when I really started to do really well and got an opportunity in the spring to show what I can do. And then came out of the spring as a starter. Unfortunately, we had 2 All-American running backs. Steve Wofford, one of the best running backs ever come out of the state of California. And you had Melvin Williams, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Absolutely. And we didn't throw the ball much, And I remember at the end of that the Bayou Classic, and all the seniors, we get up and kind of say a little speech, and I just said, hey man, the season didn't go as I like I wanted it to go personally. I was like, but I always try to look at the positive light and everything, and I love you guys like brothers.
And you ain't seen the last of Scott Cloman.
That's what I told him.
I know it. I remember.
But I told him, I said, you know what? I'd rather take this result and be on a winning team, enjoying these accolades as a team with you guys than, and I said, yeah, you haven't seen the last of Scott Coleman.
I remember that.
And they thought I was BSing. The people, some of them laughing, you know what I mean? They laughing like, okay. And, and I worked my butt off. And yeah, man, God blessed me to get an arena football opportunity and with the Iowa Barnstormers. And I was teaching school, and I hated it. So I was like, I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta get out of here, man. All this paperwork you got me I gotta go. So yeah, man, for peanuts, paying me peanuts too. But yeah, man, got to get to Iowa, man. 64 players in camp for 24 spots. God blessed me with his favor again, make the team. And yeah, man, end up, and then a guy on my that I was playing with told the scout about me. He had signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Vershawn Jackson from Nebraska. He played at the University of Nebraska, and he signed with the Kansas City Chiefs, a fullback. And the guy with the scout was just asking him about different asking about arena football, a little small talk. He said, they got any good players down there? And he told him about me. Just if you tell me that ain't God, man.
Talk to me.
He told him about me. He put me in touch with the scout, who's now this John Snyder, who's he's the general manager of Seattle Seahawks. He's been the general manager for the Seahawks, I think, since like 2011, 2012. He's been there for a minute, man. So good dude, man. I actually saw him. I posted a picture of him, actually, me and him recently on Facebook. Yeah. That's my guy, man. And so they hooked us up with field passes. Your boy
Kelly.
Mo Kelly. Yeah, Mo Kelly. Yeah, Mo Kelly. Good people, man.
Good folks, man.
Yeah.
Good
so,
man.
But yeah, man. And so, yeah, man, I got it. And yeah, long story short, end up signing with the Chiefs the following season. And that was my first time experiencing getting cut. Made it to the last cut. Man, I was depressed. I didn't know I was depressed until like later on when they saw my signs of depression. Man, all I did was I slept all day. All I was doing was sleeping for like 2 weeks. I was just sleep. I wasn't doing nothing, man. And then I was seeing a girl in Houston. I don't want to say people's name on the camera.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I go.
You don't remember her name. That's all about
Yeah, I remember her name. But I go and see her, right? And she's like, just come down here for a week or whatever. So we go down there for a week, man. And it loosened me up, made me feel better, about the situation. But I hadn't did nothing in like a month. I hadn't worked out. Man, Jeff, I'm in Houston, partying, just doing not working out, doing nothing, I was just whatever. Man, Jeff called me. Hey, New Orleans Saints just had a receiver go down. They want to bring you in. They bring you in with like 3 other receivers, and they signing one of y'all. And I'm like, oh no. Man, I jumped in my car, burned up the highway. Jack, this one I knew I was finished. I go to Ash High School in Alexandria, Louisiana. I said, let me, I always warm up with a mile. Man, I'm like 2 laps in. I'm like, it's the summer. I was like, ooh, I'm finished. I'm through. I was like, I'm through. But I was just like, man, we're gonna see a week. But yeah, that was the only workout in my, the 10 years I played professional football, and just all the work that I wasn't prepared for. I remember dropping like 2 balls. I never dropped ball. I remember dropping like 2 balls. I think a ball hit me in the face or something, because I was sweating so bad, because it's 100.
Hey, I know, brother. I know.
I was like, I knew they weren't signing me. I was hoping, but I was like the difference. Hey, look, the difference is, I remember when I signed with the 49ers, and was it Rick or Milo? I can't remember. It was Rick or Milo called me, and it was like, hey, the 49ers want to bring you in, and I was like, I said, hey, I guarantee you they signed me. That's how confident I was.
Right.
I look back, man, I was crazy. You can tell me. I was like, I'm telling you, when I say I was right, I knew it was so. But yeah, long story short, man, it ended up, playing 10 years, and a couple years in the NFL, a couple years in the CFL, 5 years arena football, XFL, NFL Europe. So got to play in every league pretty much, and that's what that XFL saved me, because when I got cut from Kansas City,
yes,
I got a chance. I got drafted to the XFL, and that kept me going, man. And so it was
NFL Europe.
NFL Europe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was. Got to go to I was in Dusseldorf, Germany for 5.5 months.
Yeah,
got to go see Scotland, Spain, Barcelona, Spain. Got to go see the world, man. It really opened my eyes up, man. Yeah. Opened my eyes up, man. Seeing all those naked people on the beach.
Come on, man. Whew. Talk to him. Hey, I remember, man, it was crazy, because I went to Paris when I was in my junior year in high school for this like junior Olympic basketball deal. And it's the same thing. They take us to the beach. I'm out there like, I'm out there trying to take pictures of the naked people, because we had the little throwaway.
You was on creep,
on creep mode. I mean, they're like, I'm young, dumb. You know what I'm saying? Don't know what the hell I'm doing. But the reality of it is, man, it was like you stated, man, it was like, I think my worst workout was for the Texans. That's when I was a free agent. And I was coming back home. My truck broke down in the snow.
Oh, I remember that you told me. Yeah.
So, for anybody who see this is a true testament of 2 people. Like, you're talking about somebody who only played. Scott only played in how many college games, Scott?
Probably less than 10.
I'm gonna say 6 to 8.
6 to 8, yep.
6 to 8 games with how many?
My whole college career, I think I had 13 catches for 115 yards and like 4 touchdowns.
And had a 10-year career professionally.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Boy,
you understand what I'm saying? That's not. And so, like, for me, transferring from Pitt, coming there, I was like, man, I didn't know what was going to happen. Like I said, because like yourself, I was a quarterback. I played wide receiver. I played defensive back. But I also played basketball. So it's like, okay, what happens now? And through that journey, man, my worst workout was with the Texans, because like you say you were sweating. I drove 18 straight hours.
Yeah.
So I had no legs.
Yeah.
I'm backpedaling. I do a whole backflip, Scott.
Oh God.
I do a whole backflip. I'm like, get him out of here, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Now, other than that, like you said, going to Philadelphia, As a matter of fact, Leslie Frazier, Van Singletary, Andy Reid,
Mm.
there's another gentleman. He used to be there. I can't remember his name, but what a lot of people don't realize is I asked to be released from Philadelphia due to
Mm.
the time that I was married at the time, and my wife was having complications with the pregnancy.
Mm.
I didn't know how to handle that, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm being
Yeah.
completely honest. I didn't
Yeah.
know what to do. I had nobody I could turn to. I had nobody to help. I had no family members. So, man, I asked to be released.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
asked to be released, and I never forget. I went to Leslie, and I want. Oh, I gotta get a shout out to Troy Vincent too, because at the time, now imagine I'm in the NFL. I'm looking for another job,
Mm-hmm.
trying to supplement,
Mm-hmm.
that them OTAs and that money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot. We ended up honestly. I'm trying to do what's right for my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to lead properly.
Mm-hmm.
But had I just would have waited, whatever was going
Mm-hmm.
to happen was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We end up, and the complications of the pregnancy, we'd end up losing the child.
Mm-hmm.
But by then I made the decision to go back to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
But after that season,
Mm-hmm.
I went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Get signed in San Francisco. Then I tear up ligaments in my pinky.
Mm-hmm.
Then they cut me.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I'm
It
like,
hurt.
oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and then when they released me, I never forget. I waited a week and a half. It was 11 days. I waited 11 days, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait.
Mm-hmm.
On the 12th day, I called back up to Canada. I spoke to the GM. It was Roy Shivers. I was like, Roy, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna come back up there. The exact same day,
Mm-hmm.
they sent me a contract and I signed. 49ers called me and said they want to bring me back. But I'd already sent the contract to San Francisco. That's a true
Oh
story.
my God.
That's a true story.
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
it was like, oh my
Yeah.
God. So
Yeah.
it was just, it happens. But for
Mm-hmm.
this year and for whoever's had that experience, we've had, our last guest for Aaron Grimes, who had that experience. We had Styles, who had that experience.
Yeah.
Of course, you had T. Martin had that experience.
Yeah.
And only thing that I want to,
We got a lot of Pat Johnson,
yeah,
Cliff
Pat
Russell,
Johnson, yeah,
third round pick, second round pick.
Byron,
So
Byron Chamberlain, you know what I'm
Ryan
saying?
Chamberlain.
So,
Yeah.
so the guys who've experienced it, I understand it's a great opportunity. For guys who are about to get this opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
please, guys, the only thing that I want to share with you is just go in with your eyes open. Know that you are a business. Know that you have to go in there every day and put your best foot forward. Because I'll never forget, as a true rookie, and I'll end with this for me. Jimmy Johnson is our coach. Dan Marino is our quarterback. Like I said, we got all the greats: Daryl Gardner, Kenny Mixon, Tim Bowen, Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas. We already talked about the secondary. We had drafted Cecil Collins, Rob Conrad, J.J. Johnson, Joe Wong. This is 99 draft class.
Mm-hmm.
We sitting in that meeting, Scott, and Jimmy Johnson is talking. I'm sitting there like, what is he talking about? This is what I'm saying to myself. It was like Charlie Brown. And all of a sudden he claps his hands, and this is what he says. He says, listen to me, guys. He said, I don't care what you do outside of these doors. Everybody, you're a professional. I expect you to be a professional. He said, but when you walk through that door, he said, I need everything you got. He said, I need everything you got. He said, I'm going to say this. If you can look to your left, your right, in front of you, and behind you, he said, everybody's doing their job. It's going to be hard to beat us. Instantly, I knew what it was to be a pro.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, through college, people out of positions, people blowing assignments. He was like, but if everybody just do their job, it's going to be hard to beat you. 100%. And I sat back in that chair. I said, man, I got it. That was my introduction of how to turn into a professional athlete. That moment right there, man. So for me, for those guys who are going to get the opportunity to go to this draft, for those guys who are going to get their names called, man, my hat's off to you. Blessings to you and your family. I pray that you do the things that you continue to do, the things that got you there, and improve. Elevate your game, elevate your mindset, do away with the foolishness, leave that other stuff alone, and just focus on your craft, man. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, man. Just take advantage of the opportunity. Gravitate towards the guys who's been successful. who've been there. Look at those veterans that's been in the league 6, 7, 8, 9 years and still performing at a high level. How are they taking care of their bodies?
Absolutely.
Who they're around? How do they take care of their business?
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And I think we can both attest to that. You know, we've both been surrounded by some amazing people. And that's why you take someone like me who has such a less than mediocre college career and was able to be successful, because I go to play arena football. Aaron Garcia, arena football, great. You know, we had legend, and these guys took me under their wings.
Absolutely.
You know, I go to Kansas City. This is, you know, just going back to, you know, looking back at it, how, you know, like God always put people around me to protect me, to teach me the game. I go to Kansas City. I had Andre Rison, took me under his wing, showed me the game. You know, had me come over his house he know I ain't had much money to come.
Right.
Come. I got some girls coming. They cooking. You know, I'm there. It's
live and in color.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, I go to you know, from there. Where did I go from? Then I went to the XFL. You know.
Yep.
Then, you know, my receiver, that was the first time I really bonded.
Stallions. Wasn't y'all the Stallions?
No, we were the Orlando Predators.
Dragons or something?
No, that was my no. Orlando Rage. I played for
Orlando
Predators and arena football. Orlando Rage, man.
I remember y'all had that's when y'all was the name.
But we were the only team that didn't do that.
Yeah, I know it. The reason I remember, because he hate me. John,
from Vegas. He played from Vegas. Yeah,
but he was with me in Philadelphia. That's why I remember. John Smart.
I remember we played. He was balling, and we had some killers on our defense. We had actually probably 3 or 4 guys off that 98 North Carolina team.
Yeah,
them boys was bringing that smoke. What was Omar? Man, what's Omar last name? Dang, can't think. He's from Philly, safety. Man, I'm talking about Omar Brown. Omar Brown, he got drafted in the 4th round to the Falcons. Man, that boy, he coming out of that bit. but we had they ate him live. They hit him, man. First series, he wasn't the same the rest of the game. He was looking for the pillow man, ducking it down. For real. Hey, like Mike Tyson say, everybody got a game plan. So you get hit in the mouth.
You get in the mouth.
You hit in the mouth, man.
Yeah.
No, man, but it's just always, you know, when I was in Kansas City, you know, James Hasty, he said, young buck, he said, I learned from Marcus Allen. He played running back 17 years in this league. You want to survive, you better get in that cold tub at every practice. And I was like, you know, and that's what I did, right? And then on my way out, I was teaching the young bucks.
Giving the young guys.
Yeah.
Look, man, game.
You want to be right? Because they used to laugh. They'd be like, they used to call me protein because I had all my supplements. Yes, they said, like, hey, protein, you know. And then halfway through the season, they like, hey, man, what you taking, man?
Exactly. They break it down. They
break it down. I said, yeah. I told you, man. Let me show you what to take, man.
Don't hate, congratulate, Doc.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, y'all ain't gonna survive on that. I mean, Chad Ocho Cinco can, you know, at McDonald's, but I couldn't do it. When I changed my diet, when I left that stuff alone, everything changed for me. But no, man, it's just like I always say, man. Before we get out of here, you got 2 type of athletes: professionals and lifestyle. Don't be a lifestyle athlete. Don't get caught up in the partying, and go have a good time. But, you know, after the game, and when it's time to party. But here again, I always say, keep the main thing the main thing. The reason why you're in the position you're in is because you're good at football.
That's it.
Right? And keep getting better. And yeah, man, just, you know, carry yourself the right way and surround yourself. And hey, man, and I'm gonna leave you all with this. The most important thing, also, another very, very important thing is who you decide to settle down with, who you decide to make your partner, because the right woman can take you to the moon, and the wrong one is like tying a cement block and throwing you in the ocean. So, and we've seen it time and time again, right? So, yeah, man, surround yourself with the right people, man. Good luck to everybody. And, you know, from Dreams Podcast, we wish you guys all the best, man.
All the best, man. All the best, man. And you know, Scott, I wanna say one more thing. I apologize. Men or women, it doesn't matter whoever the partner is, because a lot of times what's about to happen for a lot of these young men, it's life changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Financially, it's life changing. So
Yeah.
I'm just hoping you stay rooted, you stay grounded, stay close to whoever you pray to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
keep people who are close to you, keep your circle tight,
Mm-hmm.
make proper decisions. Don't be out here partying, doing foolish stuff. Don't get caught up in all that foolish stuff. You're gonna have time to do all of that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, take care of your mind, take care of your body. Don't give yourself an opportunity for something to be taken away from you that you can control.
Yeah, that you can
That's the
control.
big. You can
Yeah.
control. You can control your
Yeah.
attitude. You can control what comes out of your mouth. You control your actions. So as long as you're in control, stay in control. Therefore, you can dictate and go as far as you want to go. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's what I want to do, man. I wanted to add that little tidbit to it, man. So as Scott said it, from Dreams Podcast, from Locker Room to Reality, man. I appreciate it. I thank all of you who joined us. If you didn't get to see it, we are running back again.
Mm-hmm.
But for 2025 draft edition for Dreams Podcast, I think it's going to be spectacular today for a lot. I mean, spectacular day for a lot of these young men and their families. And I just, like Scott said, I just wish them the best, man. So that's
Mm-hmm.
all that I got, brother.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey man, we got some amazing guests coming for you guys. Uh, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss what's about to happen. Uh, like the guys we got coming on, legendary legends. Like
Yeah,
the next few weeks, man, it's gonna be crazy. So I'm just excited, man,
absolutely.
to keep this train rolling, man.
Absolutely, man. So, Scott, man, I want to thank you again. Dreams Podcast, from Locker Room to Reality, 2025 NFL Draft Edition. I want to thank everybody who joined. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your comments. But overall, continue. Thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, join. We got more coming to you, man. So
All right,
that'll work.
that's it. Peace.
Later.